So what's going on, guys? My name is Mr. JD and the hype is real for Gorod Krovi, guys. DLC free zombies is coming out in 2 weeks time, and in this video we're going to be looking at some secrets within the trailer that we got yesterday that you guys definitely wouldn't have noticed upon your first watch. And if you want to see the trailer in full without any commentary, then be sure to check out the link down below in the description for a detailed breakdown. But in this we're going to be going even further in and looking at some stuff you definitely didn't notice and coming up with some really cool ideas and things you may not have thought about. So if you guys do enjoy this, support the video with a like rating, I would appreciate that. And if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe to the channel, as I'll be keeping you guys updated with this and anything else we get leading up to the release, and there's going to be some exciting videos on the channel, I promise you that. Now this first thing isn't really a surprise to me and shouldn't be too much of a surprise to you, but all of the characters in the trailer have the blood vials on them. We're talking Richtofen with the Mob of the Dead blood vials, but also Dempsey, Nikolai and Takeo with their own set of blood vials, which they collected at the end of the Zetsubou no Shima Easter egg. Now, this is important for me to point out because at least now we know that we are following continuity, and whatever we need the blood for, it hasn't happened quite yet. And some people were a little bit confused during that Zetsubou end cutscene where they thought the next map was actually going to take place when our characters teleported, but no, they teleported and came straight back into the map with those blood vials, and we're continuing the chain of events with those blood vials into our new map. Now the second thing I want to mention is actually the description of this map, and this is from the Call of Duty website, and we know pretty much how the story is going down, but it adds a little bit of detail into it which adds to the story of the map, which is extremely exciting. So we're being held into an alternate war-torn Stalingrad. So this is not Stalingrad during the typical World War II, this is an alternate universe version where Element 115 has wreaked havoc over a battlefield littered with the remnants of a battle between mechanized soldiers and deadly dragons controlled by Group 935. That probably doesn't sound too interesting or important, but trust me guys, it is. We know that this is an Element 115 havoc wreaked battlefield, so Element 115 has affected what is going on right here, and what was going on before our characters arrived was a battle between mechanized soldiers and deadly dragons which are controlled by Group 935. We know that these dragons were created by Division 9 and Group 935 as a respectable group, but they were born in Zetsubou no Shima, flew away, and now they're here in Gorod Krovi, but they are controlled by Group 935. These dragons are being controlled. They are not wild dragons. They are all being controlled by Group 935. We will also be controlling these dragons as well when we play the map. Now, this next thing I'm going to talk about is the color of the zombies' eyes. We have red eyes now with most of these zombies. We do see an electrified zombie which has blue eyes rather than red, but the rest of the zombies' eyes are red, which is extremely interesting because up till now the zombies' eyes have always been the yellow orangey colour, meaning they were controlled by Samantha. They've never been red, and there's only been one zombies map since that has had red-eyed zombies, and that, my friends, is Mob of the Dead. So what exactly does this mean for the premise of this map? Well, there's a very good chance that this map will have some connection to Mob of the Dead, especially with the blood vials that will probably be explained in this map. We've had teasers from Jason saying that the blood vials will be explained before DLC 4, so that is great, but the red eyes could also mean that there's a greater force or essence controlling the zombies in this particular universe. Now, subject to popular belief, to me, Der Eisendraht and Zetsubou no Shima take place in separate universes, just like Gorod Krovi is going to be taking place in a separate universe to those as well, and in this one, it might not necessarily be Samantha that is controlling the zombies. Now, linking up with Mob of the Dead, there is a chance that perhaps this map could take place in Purgatory, just like it did in Mob of the Dead, meaning the zombies' eyes being red, but at the moment it is unknown, and this possibly could be a non-character control type of zombie, or it could be a completely different person that is controlling the zombies in this particular realm. We do know that we're going to be seeing Gersh at some point from the Ascension group in this map. Maybe there's a chance that he is controlling them. We absolutely have no idea. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments section about this. Now, with Mob of the Dead, that took place in the 1930s, which was before Samantha entered the MPD and took control of the zombies, and some people believe that before Samantha took control, the zombies were controlled by the ancient evil within the realms of Mob of the Dead. Now, we know this takes place during World War II, so we're going with a 1940s setting, which again could be around the time before Samantha entered the MPD. We aren't quite sure. But whilst we're still on the topic of Mob of the Dead, in the trailer right towards the end there is a plane you can see by this dragon, and a lot of people believe this to be the Icarus plane from Mob of the Dead. Now, we can't confirm if this is the Mob of the Dead plane or not. It looks a lot like it, but there is literally about 100 different planes flying in the sky during this map, just like they did in Zetsubou no Shima, so it's very, very hard to confirm if that is the case. But when we do get the map and we look around in the sky, I genuinely would not be surprised at this point if we saw the Mob of the Dead plane flying around again, as we've seen it so many times now in Shadows of Evil, in The Giant, and in Zetsubou no Shima. Now, another thing that's really, really cool during this moment with the dragon right at the end of the trailer is if we actually take this frame here, you can spot a single statue, which is one of the Origins crew statues. Now, we saw these statues within the map Origins, as well as in Der Eisendrache. We saw the characters of our Primus versions, and it's interesting because Richtofen was missing from that set of characters, and now in this map, from this trailer, we can only see one statue, and that is of Nikolai remaining, which potentially implies that we're killing the Primus characters, or we're moving them from our current universe into a bigger, more important universe, and by killing Nikolai off in this universe, all those statues will be gone. That's just one interpretation of it, but that definitely looks like Nikolai Belinsky there in statue form, and he's there for a reason, and this is a really, really hard to spot in the trailer. So guys, let me know what you think of the theories of this statue in the comments. Now, I'm not quite done with the Mob of the Dead themes here, so we've got quite a few connections already in this video, but we're going to have a few more. This map, of course, is based around Nikolai, and we have the Weasel in Mob of the Dead, who for some reason knows Nikolai, and we aren't quite sure yet at this point why. But maybe with this map we will get some answers, because we have a very, very similar connection where we have a lot of planes flying around. We can actually fly on a dragon, just like we could fly on the plane in Mob of the Dead. The actual shield that we see Nikolai using seems to produce some sort of acid gas, which seems very similar to the vitrolic withering weapon from Mob of the Dead, and the zombie boss that we see seems to be a lot more similar to Brutus than a normal Panzer Soldat, just this one is made out of mechanical parts instead. So there's a lot of stuff fitting in right here, and it would be absolutely amazing, since this is the City of Blood and we have blood vials from characters as well as characters from Mob of the Dead, that this could all be tied up and we could get some connections here. Now, within the trailer we see a few dragons, but did you notice there is a load of dragons, literally so many dragons, even dead dragons. I've never noticed this dragon laying here right at the back of the map as this pod is falling down, but as you can see, there's a dragon just dead there in the background, which is extremely suspicious. If we look over to the left while this pod is dropping down, you can notice a raised level where we have a mystery box location, as well as something very suspicious looking on the far left there. I can't work out quite what it is. To me, it looks almost like a flashlight that you can turn on, but we have a little drop here, so if you're not enjoying staying up here, you can just drop down to the lower level, and it looks like zombies can also attack you by jumping up and getting onto this upper level area, so that's interesting. But in this scene here, you guys have probably noticed by now, but we see Dempsey shooting what looks to be the brand new Mark III ray gun, which is a dual wield ray gun. A lot of people are thinking this could be a ray gun Mark III, this could be a dual wield wave gun Mark II from Moon, but to me, it's shooting rays. It looks very much like a ray gun to me, so it looks like we are getting a ray gun Mark III within this map. We don't have the 100% details, but as soon as we do know, I'll be sure to update you guys on that. But yes, I didn't mention it as too much of a big deal in my breakdown video, but to me at least it looks like we're getting a third version of the ray gun, which is just incredible. Now, another thing to point out, around the map we're going to be having these little zones which have red markers. This looks so similar to the markers we had in Origins, where in particular trenches, if you were stood there, that's a warning signal before an Origins robot comes and stamps on your face. Now, we have Origin robots in this map, but they seem to have taken on a Russian form now, with the Russian star symbol on their chest rather than the normal German cross, but we are still unsure if these are going to be the same robots and that operate exactly how they did in Origins, where they are striding across the landscape and will affect gameplay by stamping on certain areas. We see it flash during this section where zombies are running up to us, and we also have this new Brutus style zombie coming at us as well. This could either be a signal that the robot is about to stamp down, but I feel they won't do the same thing as Origins and have robots roaming around the landscape, and rather this is a warning that a dragon is nearby and could possibly breathe fire on that area, or could just cause some sort of terror, because as you can see at some point in this trailer, a dragon does completely turn on fire an area which will make it inaccessible. Now, Part of me believes that this part was done by us controlling the dragon and causing it to breathe fire, making that area just literally burn in flames, or if that's just something that the dragon has a tendency of doing at times and we need to make sure we avoid it. I'm not sure at this rate, but I'm sure we'll find out very, very soon. Now, during this trailer, we see a ton of detail that we're going to expect when we play this map, including a ton of posters. This is no different to the assortment of amazing posters we had in Der Eisendrache, as well as in Zetsubou no Shima. And these are all written in Russian, of course, because we are in Russia, and we're going to translate a few of them in this video. These aren't going to be the complete translations of every single poster, because it's going to be quite a task to do that. I'm sure give it a few days you'll find that on YouTube, but we're going to go ahead and break down some of the posters we can find. So in this section here, when Nikolai buys a gobblegum, you can see a poster out in the far distance. This poster translates to, "We came to set you free, we are your friends." A very, very cool little poster there. Could be talking about the Russian army there. Now, this next shot is quite early on into the trailer where all our characters are rushing past here, and you can see a poster in the background which translates to "the sons of the homeland." And in this shot with the dragon breathing fire onto a swarm of zombies, to the right we can see out in the background a poster which translates to "for us the future, today and forever." And we can actually see an image of the new dog rounds we're going to be getting, which is these weird flying drones with tentacles. Now, to me, this is very, very strange, and it seems almost like the Russians created this, but on the sides of these we have 115 and 935 written on them, which makes me assume that these were created by Group 935 either for the Russians, or the Russians got hold of them somehow and they're now attacking our characters. These robots could potentially be spy robots or something like that. I'm not quite sure. We'll just have to see how it plays out when we get into the map. And last but not least, we have another new weapon going into this map, which you actually wouldn't have seen in the trailer, because for some reason Call of Duty didn't include it in their YouTube upload. They also put a shortened version of the trailer on Instagram, and in there is a short snippet of brand new gameplay of Dempsey getting the L4 Siege weapon out of the mystery box. Not quite sure why they wouldn't include that in the normal trailer, but hey, that's something for you guys to know who aren't on Instagram. The L4 Siege is now confirmed as another new weapon coming back, as well as the FR, or the remade FAMAS. And if you're worried about the newer weapons that were added in Zetsubou no Shima, don't worry, we seem to be getting those as well, as Richtofen is holding the MX Garand in another shot in this trailer. But that's about all we have for this video looking at trailer secrets. I'll be bringing you guys even more videos over the next few days talking about even more hidden secret stuff within this trailer. But if you guys did enjoy it, feel free to drop a like rating. I really, really would appreciate it. Hopefully you learned something new in this that you didn't expect, and just thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch all the way until the end. If you're new around here, make sure to subscribe for more Black Ops 3 Zombies on Gorod Krovi. I'll catch you in another video very, very soon.